Have you ever walked into a place and felt an uneasiness in the air, even though everything was seemingly peaceful? Have you ever talked to someone and suddenly your body felt cold, or you felt an inexplicable tightness in your chest? Have you ever felt like you are being watched, even when you are alone? Or have you ever felt one presence at your bedside in the middle of the night, but there was no one visible there? If you've ever experienced something like this, as strange as it may seem, perhaps you have something that you still don't fully understand. Spiritual sensitivity. It's not crazy. It's not an exaggeration. It's not drama. It's real. And it could be a sign that you carry a gift, a spiritual openness, a perception beyond the average, and you need to start understanding what this means before you continue living situations without knowing how to protect yourself, how to balance yourself, how to use this to your advantage. Many people spend years suffering from spiritual symptoms without understanding what is happening to them. They feel tired for no reason. They wake up in the middle of the night without air. They have repetitive nightmares. They feel trapped around certain people. Their mood changes suddenly when they enter certain environments. They have dizziness or headaches in their temples or cemeteries. And they live thinking that the problem is in the body or in the mind. They look for doctors, take medicine, undergo tests, but nothing appears. No physical explanation, no diagnosis, and deep down, something keeps screaming inside. Something that says there is something beyond, it has something spiritual, and that something needs to be looked at. Spiritual sensitivity is not something you choose. It's something you're born with. It can manifest itself from childhood, with nighttime fears, heightened perceptions, a deep connection with silence, an intuition that seems to speak louder than reason. Sensitive children tend to have a more attentive look, a more introspective behavior, and often scare adults by reporting that they see, feel, or hear things that no one else notices. Over time, many of these children learn to silence their perceptions. They are being taught not to talk about what they feel, to deny their own signs, to conform to what is accepted by common logic. And then they grow with their sensitivity dormant, but never nullified, because what is spiritual cannot be erased, it just represses. And when it is not welcomed, this gift begins to manifest itself in more intense, more painful, more confusing ways. Have you ever had mood swings so strong that you felt like it wasn't you there? Have you ever felt a weight in the environment as soon as you entered a place? Have you ever felt like you absorb people's suffering just by listening to their stories? Have you ever felt exhausted after being in a place full of people, even without exerting any physical effort? These are just a few signs of a sensitive soul, an open soul, a soul that captures energies, vibrations, presences. And the more sensitive you are, the more important it is to learn to understand this gift, protect your energy, and use this with wisdom and faith. Spiritual sensitivity is not just a burden, it can be a path to healing. Sensitive people find it incredibly easy to connect with the sacred, with the divine, with prayer. They have revealing dreams, perceptions that alert, intuitions that save. They can feel when something is going wrong even before it happens. And so, they need to learn to trust what they feel, even when no one else understands. Have you ever been next to someone and felt a pain that wasn't yours? Have you ever felt like crying for no reason and then discovered that someone close to you was hurting? Have you ever felt like something bad was going to happen even if everything was calm, and then the warning came true? Have you ever dreamed of people asking for help who appeared in strange situations and woke up with inexplicable anguish? Maybe this isn't just a dream. Maybe this isn't just emotion. Maybe this is your soul saying, you feel more because you see beyond. And those who see beyond need to know how to take care of what they carry. Many sensitive people are exhausted because they don't know how to protect themselves spiritually, because they don't know how to say no, they don't know how to protect, themselves from dense environments. They don't know how to stay away from people who drain their light. Steam everything. They absorb everything. They suffer everything. And when they don't take care of it, the body starts to scream. The soul begins to get sick. Faith begins to weaken. But it doesn't have to be that way. The first step is to recognize, yes, I am spiritually sensitive. And then start seeking knowledge, practices, prayers, and attitudes that strengthen your energy field, your connection with God, your spiritual protection. Because sensitivity is a gift, but only when you understand how to use it. Maybe you've gone through life feeling different. Maybe he kept quiet for fear of looking crazy. Maybe you've tried to fit into a world that doesn't understand the depths you feel. But now you've come this far. And that is already a sign, a calling, an awakening. Did you identify with all of this? Have you ever experienced situations that no one believed in, but you know were real? Do you feel like you are constantly capturing more than you should? Have you ever wondered if you have a spiritual gift, even if you don't know how to use it? So comment here. Tell me what you've experienced, what you feel, what you carry. Your experience could be the answer for those who also live all this in silence. And if this video is speaking to your soul, like it now, share it with someone you know is spiritually sensitive, but still doesn't understand what it means. And now that you've come this far, we'll continue, because in the next part, you will discover the clearest signs that your soul is taking in more than it should. Let's delve deeper into what you feel and what it reveals about your gift. In the next part, we will delve deeper, how to strengthen your spiritual field, how to protect your energy, and how to transform sensitivity into strength, not a burden. It all starts with silence. Silence is not of the world, but the silence of the soul. Because those who are spiritually sensitive need to learn to listen to themselves before listening to others. You need to learn to silence the noise in your mind, external pressures, the weight of emotions that are not yours. Spiritual protection begins with listening. When you stop, breathe, and fearlessly feel what comes from your field. One of the simplest and most powerful forms of protection is daily prayer done with intention. Not just repeated words, but sincere prayers, with the soul surrendered. Talk to God like someone talking to a close friend. Say what you feel. Ask for protection. Ask for discernment. Ask for spiritual shielding. Your words have vibration, and when spoken in faith, they build walls of light around them. You can start the day with a simple sentence. May today no energy that does not come from light touch my spirit. And repeat this as a shield every time you feel that you are entering a heavy environment or close to someone who unbalances you. Words have power. Your voice is a key. Use it. The second essential practice is care for the environment where you live. Those who are spiritually sensitive cannot live in chaotic, disorganized, stuffy environments. The stagnant energy of a home beyond penetrates the field of those who feel too much. Keep your house clean, airy, with natural light whenever possible. More tired than it went to sleep, cloth at night. During sleep, your soul travels, and those who are sensitive feel everything much more intensely at that moment. The ideal is to create a clean and sacred space to rest. Place a glass of water next to your bed. Pray before going to sleep. Ask for spiritual protection and imagine your body being surrounded by a golden or white light. Imagine this light as a shield around you. Another powerful practice is spiritual bathing. It doesn't have to be complicated. A handful of rosemary, some bay leaves, 3 sprigs of basil and coarse salt. Boil, wait for it to cool, and pour from the neck down with your eyes closed, thinking about everything that needs to go. Feel the water carrying away emotional burdens, other people's energies, thoughts that are not yours. Then dry yourself gently and be grateful. Gratitude strengthens the soul and attracts even more protection. And most importantly, learn to say no. People who are overly sensitive have difficulty distancing themselves from what is harmful. They carry everything, welcome everyone, and forget about themselves. It's not selfish to stay away from those who unbalance you. It is spiritual survival. You can't help someone else if you're down. You can't carry anyone if you're sinking. Protect your energy lovingly but firmly. Those who are spiritually sensitive need to choose themselves every day. Do you already practice any of these forms of protection? Have you ever noticed that you feel better after a herbal bath? Have you ever felt peace just cleaning a room and playing spiritual music? Have you ever felt light-hearted after a sincere prayer said in the silence of the early morning? Tell me here in the comments. Share your way of protecting yourself, or if this content gave you new ideas for taking care of your soul. Sometimes a simple tip can be the answer someone was waiting for. And if this video touched your soul, like now, this shows that you want to continue receiving messages like this. Share with someone who is spiritually sensitive but has not yet learned to protect themselves. This person may be carrying more than they should, and you may be the channel of light that leads to liberation. Here, we talk about the soul. Here, we give names to what the world does not see, but the spirit feels. And if you are here, it is because something in you is ready to awaken. Until the next video. And remember, those who feel too much also need to protect themselves too much. And your faith is your greatest armor.